Hello boys and girls, and welcome to your third session. We're on to topic 3, the software you will need and use, your budget and your journey board, and our case study. So I'm going to take you through a couple of things here, and firstly I'd like to mention to you that during your different journeys you will be introduced to a lot of software packages. Some of them are full programs that sit on your computer. Some of them are apps that's installed onto your phone. Some of them are applications that run through web browsers. Now, don't worry too much about them now, because in every session I will explain to you exactly how to install them, where to get them, how to maybe get a trial version. But at this stage, I want you to consider what you're willing to spend on your software. Now, in every one of the sessions, I will give you, if there's a paid for software program, I will give you an alternative that might be free, but I am not focusing on them. So I'll introduce them to you, and if you don't want to go and spend money on software, you're more than welcome to use them. But our focus is largely on bigger programs that will come at a cost. All right, so let's look at some of them. Firstly, Adobe.com. Most of what we'll do is based on Adobe solution, including Creative Cloud. And I've got a whole session coming up just after this one, which explains to you how Creative Cloud works, how to do your login, how to move around the site. For now, you guys can go ahead and register on the site, because what they give you is a trial version for the bigger packages, and we will be working with most of those big packages. But let's just have a look. If I were to sign in, add what you get. Now, what Adobe does is they allow you to have an Adobe ID. And this is completely free, and that's why I say you guys can go ahead, you can register for it now. They give you some space on their, what they call their Creative Cloud, and they give you access to trial versions. Okay, so I'm going to log into my account for that. And you'll see you get to your dashboard. Now this dashboard is vastly enhanced once you buy an actual plan. They call it a subscription plan. But on your free version, you'll see that you have a lot of things available to you already. And this I will discuss in depth on the next session. For now, what I want you to notice is they say to you here, choose a plan. And also you get your desktop downloads. So if you don't want to pay for the software yet, and during your journeys you just want to see what they're about and you want to test them out, you can go straight to desktop downloads, and you will see all of the major programs here that we'll be working with. From Creative Cloud to Photoshop to Illustrator to Indesign, and you'll see there's almost 22 programs that we'll be working with here. So it's really quite a vast amount of software available on the Adobe platform. So if I were to go back on your dashboard, you'll notice that it says to you choose plan. Let's look at what you would actually pay for this software. Now, about 5 or 6 years ago, they didn't sell this as a subscription model, which meant you could buy the software outright, but it was very expensive. So the whole of Creative Cloud would have cost about $1,500. Now what they've done is they've made it possible for you to subscribe on a monthly basis, which means you pay every month to use that software, and in the long run it really works out a lot cheaper. All right, so as long as you subscribed to the service, you will be able to use those software packages. And the first one is the photography special. So if you know you're only going to be working with Lightroom and Photoshop, and we do introduce you to Photoshop in Journey 1, and in Journey 2 we'll introduce you to Lightroom. So if you prefer to only work with those, you will only pay $10 a month. If you prefer, maybe in Journey 2, after you've done Journey 2, you decide, well, InDesign is the program for you, then you can subscribe purely to InDesign for $20 a month. If you want all of the applications, and with that I mean all of the 22 you just saw and the 22 programs you'll see in the next session, that is $50 a month. Which, if you think about it, is really not a lot of money. And trust me, when you get to the end of Journey 3 and you realize just how much is available to you, this is very cheap for that kind of creative power. They do have an additional plan here if you do work with stock photography a lot that you can subscribe to, and that's for $80 a month. All right, so that's our Adobe solution. I will get back to Creative Cloud in the next session, show you how to install it, show you how the panels work, show you how the files work, because it pretty much works the same as Dropbox would, because all of your creative elements are stored inside the cloud. All right, other software that we will be using is, for instance, GIMP. And GIMP is the free alternative to Photoshop. It's a very good program. It's a very good self-standing program as well. And we will have a whole session just to introduce you to it. Another one that you will be introduced to in Journey 1 is called Inscape, and it's an alternative to Illustrator. Okay, and this program has also come a very long way. It's a very, very, very cool program. So if you find that in Illustrator you're not going to be able to afford the software, you are more than welcome to work with Inscape. It's an alternative to a vector package. Okay, our last one is called Scribus, and in Journey 2 you will work a lot with what Adobe has to offer in terms of InDesign, and that's for magazine layouts, brochures, posters, banners, and Scribus is of course then the free alternative to that. In Journey 3 you're introduced to Dreamweaver and Muse, which is web packages, and in those sessions I will introduce you to some free versions of website building packages. All right, so that covers your software. Other things I want you to just take note of is at this stage, I want all of you to go right to the bottom of our homepage or any page, and you'll notice all our social media links there. Okay, we want to keep you in tune with what we're doing the whole time. If there's new sessions that we're planning, if the Talent Tank has additional webinars that we're running, if there's projects that maybe you want to get involved in, everything will be on our social media. So go to our Facebook page, there's our Twitter page, there's our LinkedIn page. I want you to connect on all of them, because from this point onwards, these pages will also become part of your creative universe. And as we throw things out there, it will be important things. It will be blog articles that we might write on tips on design, or it will be a Twitter feed that we will throw out some extra tutorials for you to look at. Under LinkedIn, we might connect you to some jobs that might be available if you're part of our Talent Tank. So do go and follow as many of them as you can. Do it right now so that you know you are connected to us. All right. Also, what you will notice in all of your sessions is as you do your sessions, you will start gaining achievements. And these achievements come in the form of badges. So if you finish a session, you will be able to see all of your badges here, but you'll also be able to share them on your Facebook timeline so that your friends can see what you're doing. And maybe you'll get, in that way, you'll get your friends involved to also join you on this journey. And it's just, something like this is just a lot more fun if you're actually challenging each other in groups. So think about it. Think about in your friendship group who's really creative as well, and get them involved. All right. Lastly, I want to introduce you to Cape Town Tourism. Now, we partnered up with Cape Town Tourism in order to have some example files for you to work with. All right, so if you want to look them up, they are www.capetown.travel, and you can read up all about Cape Town Tourism. They have made all of their files available to us for all of our sessions. So your sample files, you'll notice you'll see a lot of these images, you'll see a lot of these videos as we work through them. These are all available to you to use, to practice, to, we're going to use them when we create our brochures, when we create our websites, our web stories. All of these are available to you. And just to show you, on your website, when you go to your session, and let's say you are busy with session number 6 of journey number 1, you'll notice that the files is readily available under the video session. So if I go down here and I click onto session 6, which might be diving into your first creation of Adobe Spark, if I click on it, the video clip will be at the top. But if you look at the notes down here, you'll see the workshop files is available. Also, you'll notice the topics over here for every session that we're discussing. So as I'm talking through the video, these are the major topics that we will be dealing with. If you download these files, just take note that they are zip files. Some of them are quite big because there's video clips that I use in the sessions. So just have a look in the brackets how big that download size is. If you're not uncapped in your connection at home, then be sure about how many megabytes you're going to be downloading and whether you have enough available. All right, I just want to show you once this is downloaded. Remember that these files are zipped. Okay, if you don't have WinZip or you don't have a Mac utility to unzip those files, then do get them. They are available for free online, because once you download this file, you will have to unzip that file. And on most computers, you would just go onto that file, you would right click and you would say extract. Okay, both on a Mac and a PC. If you're having problems with that, let us know. Okay, and if I extract those files, you'll see that you'll now have a folder, and these are the files that you will use inside of that session. All right, so when I start those sessions, make sure that you have your files available, that you have them unzipped, that you're ready to work with me on the sessions. Okay, if you have any problems with files or anything, remember under your session you can comment over here. Tell us if you're having problems with what you're seeing in the session, or you're having problems with those files. Okay, lastly, I do want to emphasize this little button down here, and this is for you to take notes. A lot will be said in these sessions, and there's some things that will really ring true to you and that you would want to record and that you would want to keep for later on. There will also be a lot of sessions where there will be things that I'll emphasize which will be in your exams. Now, make notes of those. You know, if I mention website addresses, make notes of those. If I give you tips, make notes of those, because this notes panel will save those notes according to the session you are on. So if I were to do in the Adobe Spark, and I were to do a note here and say this is under spark.adobe.com, and I say to you, you can do a photo grid, and you think, photo grid was cool, do this later. And you make a little note and you save it. That note is saved together with that session. Okay, it will say to you that it's saved. You can even print it out, or you can write it to a file, or you can attach a file. And if you close this panel, on the left hand side of the login screen, you'll see is a My Notes link. And if I were to click on that link, you will see all the notes you made inside all of the sessions. Okay, so there you can see all of them as you go along, and there's the one that we just did. All right, you can also download all the selected ones then onto one big sheet, and maybe when you get to Journey 3 and you're going to do your final quiz, then it's a good idea to download all of your notes. All right, so that's everything in a nutshell for session 3. I will be back soon for session 4, and we'll start guiding you through Creative Cloud. Okay, we'll chat soon. Bye-bye.